Hi, everybody. We're here for session 4 of Witch Quest. This is our second to last episode, and I'm really sad to see it go, but this just means that Nana Moon has to do something really crazy. Like, yeah. Anyway, we can go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Katie. I'm playing Emma. We both use she, her pronouns. What about you, Rachel?
I'm Rachel. I play Roy, and we both use she, her pronouns as well.
Mariah?
I'm Mariah, and I play Poppy, and she also uses she, her pronouns, the same as me.
And last but not least, over to Taylor.
I am Taylor. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm running the game. I have a variety of NPCs. Yep. The end. I suppose we should say that we are playing Witch Quest, which is a fun Japanese RPG that was like fan translated and ported over. It's from like 1991, and we have been following an episodic adventure. Does somebody want to give me? Actually, Rachel, do you want to do the last time on?
Yeah, the last time on, Roy fucked up some bullies, and that wasn't very nice of her. So her moms told her that she had to do chores for all 6 of her other sisters, and that's what we did. And my buddies helped me out to complete my chore jobs. And we did lots of fun adventures.
We found out that you got a lot of sisters.
Yeah.
So many sisters.
So many sisters in the kitchen.
Okay. I definitely know how to start running a game. And we do that by saying, once upon a time, there's a couple of witches. All right, so we are in our normal witch town, which I don't know if we've ever named it.
It's just Witchville.
Witchburg.
Witchburg! New Witchburg. It took over from old Witchburg.
We don't talk about old Witchburg.
There is a very candy-coated guided tour in the historical district. All right, so on this day, it's a little bit gray, it's a little bit overcast, and you're all doing your own individual things when so let's go to each character real quick. Katie, what is Emma up to on this rainy, cold, dreary afternoon?
Emma is finally, she has finished her homemade Gork inspired tarot deck, which just has different, drawings of Gork doing, I think, like human things. Like there's a drawing, there's like a drawing of like Gork reading a newspaper. I don't know why. It just interests me. And I think she is trying to just trying to like charge her cards, get a feel for them, because she's just recently finished them.
Okay. Rachel, what is Roy up to?
Roy is committing some light vandalism in a public building somewhere.
You just got ungrounded. Okay. And then Mariah, what is Poppy up to?
I think Poppy is just kind of out for a walk. She's just looking at all the raindrops and stepping in puddles and checking out snails hanging out on leaves.
Cool. All right. So at the same moment, you all encounter a peculiar little happening of magic. When Emma reaches into her desk drawer to pull out a pen, what she instead finds is a comfortable warmth emanating from the drawer that is otherwise empty. It looks like it has a stony interior, and inside it is a tiny little like sweet loaf roll of baked goods, and pinned to it is a note from Nana Moon. Roy, as you're vandalizing a building, you see one of the bricks kind of set out, and when you fidget with it, you pull it out, and again, it is like an oven drawer with a little fresh baked sweet loaf in it, with a note from Nana Moon. And then Poppy encounters a kind of like seam in the bark of a tree that pulls out into a hot little oven drawer with a fresh baked good.
I was really just hoping it was going to be a snail that just brings her one.
They too little. They get their slimes all over it.
But the slime is good for your skin.
Is it?
Facial and a sweet loaf. You're good.
Hmm.
You just let the snails slime over your face, and that's good for you. Good for your skin.
Ugh. I suggested it. I don't even like the idea.
What does the note say?
So the note says, it's short and sweet,
Like the bread.
Yes. And it just says, I'm like the rest of the batch is coming out of my own oven. Come join me, Nana Moon.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Emma is just she's breaking off a bit of it to give to Gork, and then she's going.
Yeah. Roy hides her paint cans and then goes.
Yeah. Poppy swaps out her umbrella for a broom and heads that way.
Okay. And so at the arrival at Nana Moon's, it is still kind of dreary there. Sorry, I have to make room for Sebastian, who has decided to join me. It's still kind of dreary there, but you see smoke rising from the chimney, and by walking up to the door, you get that warm, wafting baked goods smell.
Roy, does Roy have any paint on her?
Yeah. Mostly, like, surprisingly, her clothes are, like, pretty clean, but there's a lot of blue and green on her face. And hands.
What were you doing, Roy?
Oh, it's just, I was just doing some art. As one does.
On a rainy day.
It was, yes.
Art's a really good thing to do on a rainy day. You know, stay inside and a canvas.
Yeah, I was definitely using a canvas.
Why do I not believe you now?
Anyway, let's go inside.
Emma's like just looking at Poppy and then looking back at Roy and just hangs her head and goes inside.
Yeah.
All right. So Nana Moon is in the process of moving like a tray of freshly baked rolls to a cooling rack and moving some dough out of a proofing drawer and into the oven, and she's not got the soggy bottoms. If you watch this Great British Baking Show, you know what's up.
Mary Berry is actually Nana Moon.
That's an insult to Nana Moon.
What?
These rolls are very scrummy. Scrummy. So yeah, you get in and she kind of, without really looking up, she was like, "Oh yes, come in, sit down."
Come in. I sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emma's gonna go in and sit down, while also looking, being on the lookout for more sweet rolls.
Yeah. Roy sits down on the floor.
Okay. The kittens, now about a week or so old, come like toddling over to you guys and like headbutt your legs, and they still don't really know how to use their dumb little feet, but they are.
I pick up 3 of them.
Yeah, they just start like climbing on your body and like chewing on your hair. Southwell immediately like pins one and starts cleaning it. Gork is just like perturbed, but like is just deliberately looking in a different direction, like he doesn't even notice them. And Grove seems also like just a little bit uncomfortable with the kittens. Like she does a nose boop, but once the kittens come up, like she hops down and sits by your feet.
Emma's just like, Gork, be nice. They're just kittens.
Are they still in the squeaky stage?
They're like a week old, so yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I need to figure out what day it is.
Oh, yeah.
I forget how to play this game sometimes.
It's a hard game.
I've never known how to play this game.
If I were to be playing this game as a class, I would be getting a C-.
No, you would be getting an A in this class because it's based on participation.
Okay, well, that's good then.
Yeah. It's also graded on a curve. All right. So go ahead and roleplay amongst yourselves for a moment while I figure out what day it is.
Have you guys thought at all that maybe one of these kittens could be little Prince Boy's kitten? Because they were born on his birthday and he wants to be a witch.
I sort of forgot about him because he was a boy.
That's kind of rude, but okay.
I have a point here, Poppy.
I don't know. I thought he was nice.
Oh no,
enough.
He was really nice, and I mean, you didn't punch him, so you made a really good, a good first impression.
That's true. I did.
Just, I just didn't really see him going far in the witch business.
Well, what do you think it takes to go far as a witch? It's not like...
Well, for one, not being a boy.
I don't know. I think he seemed like he really wanted to commit himself to doing it, and I've never known a boy that wanted to do that, so that's already kind of impressive, I guess.
That's true.
It's kind of like how Roy's sister's cat decided he wanted to be a person. Like, I've also never seen a cat that wanted to do that, and that's pretty impressive.
I mean, he's also pretty cool, unlike the prince. So,
okay.
I don't know if that counts.
Well, the
as
prince
being
is
similar.
also the prince is also only 13, 12. I don't remember, but
It was his. I don't know.
Your sister's boyfriend is like 20 or something. He's like an adult.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it does take a couple years to learn what cool really is.
I know what cool is.
What's cool, Roy?
It's a secret.
I think it's probably frogs.
Frogs aren't cool. Frogs are neat.
Oh.
Wait, there's a difference?
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I guess clearly Roy is just much cooler and wiser than the rest of us.
Well, I mean, I knew that already, Poppy. But I just wish, she wouldn't keep a secret to herself because secrets aren't kept between friends, Roy.
I'm gonna lean over and whisper in her ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. And that's what cool is.
At this point, Nana Moon comes over with the tray of now cooled to a palatable level baked goods and says, "It's true, she's right." And sets it down. It's like, "Thank you all for coming. I know flying in this much rain can be sort of unpleasant, but you're always welcome here."
Well, you sort of called us. I mean, it wasn't like... I mean, we came of our own accord, but you told us to come.
I did. And thank you for doing that. Of course, you always could have not, as that's an option. But I do have another job, and you might find this one a little bit more interesting.
That's Roy with her mouth full of another bun.
I think she wants to know what you want us to do.
So there's a bit of a mystery going on in another town. In the town of Angvan, we have heard from a certain professor who has been experiencing what they claim to be as vandalism. Someone or something has been getting into their office each evening and causing quite a ruckus.
I would like
what
to
kind
point
of
out,
ruckus?
I'd like to point out, Emma's looking from Gork to Roy. Back and
Poppy
forth.
also is looking at Roy.
Roy's like, did I go to this town and did I forget?
Did you sleepwalk?
Sleep broom ride for a pretty significant distance.
Sleep broom ride into sleep ruckus.
So if you wouldn't mind, you can go ahead and travel on over there and see if you can solve a mystery.
So we know nothing about... You know nothing about the vandalism at all? No leads?
Oh, I'm sure she shared some details. I'm sure some details were shared, but the professor, they just said something about... Oh, they went on and on about books and that sort of thing. I've not academic myself.
It wasn't Roy. We don't have to worry about that.
That's a little bit rude, but okay.
Am I wrong?
Yes? No, you're not wrong, but just because it's true doesn't mean you should say it, I think.
I thought you should always tell the truth.
Since
Whoever told you that?
These rules are a little confusing. So she's just gonna slowly put another roll in her mouth.
I suppose if you're looking for more information, I did do a reading of this event. If you'd like to hear my interpretation of it.
Yes, please.
All right. Let me see. I've still got it set up on my table here. And she goes over and says these words. Oh, and also, by the way, I rolled the sword today. It's 17.
Awesome. I'm terrible at magic, as on every other day.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not like negative on magic though, right?
No, I'm just one.
Same.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, high five.
I'm
Yay.
Official high five.
I'm a 5.
Nice. Okay. Well, so here we are. Our first card, representing the past, is the warrior. The warrior is a reliable leader, but they are fraught with challenge. The history of this day, what we see when we look backwards, is the warrior. The battles they fought, the victories they won, and the precious things they've protected. The present is represented by blood, the bonds, promises, and ties we keep with others. Our blood ties us to families, but also runs through our magic and binds us with the families that we create with love and the promises we make. It is said our fate is written in blood, but is that really more permanent than ink? Our beloved moon, she of unparalleled beauty, pinnacle of completeness, is the key to our situation. She represents becoming whole and waxing to our full potential. She also bears the cold, quiet light and unobtainable grace of her alien body. So this night, is our key the completeness of the full moon or the complete darkness of the new moon? We go further. Our future is represented by deep space. It is the true unknown, the vast plain of infinite possibilities and incomprehensible adventure. To be shown deep space in our future feels at first blush like a slap in the face. Our future is so unknown. But what if it isn't that our future isn't unknowable, but so indeterminate and vague? But instead, it is the literal unknown that lies determinately in store. And what portent do we have to provide context for all the above? The oh so familiar gold. Gold is wealth in its myriad forms. It is power as opposed to spirit. It is reality as opposed to illusion. Are we then to look at our aforementioned portents through the lens of literal power, the warrior's true battle, the bonds of blood, the grace of the moon, and the plunge into the void? Whatever is in store for us girls is imbued with a deep richness, to be sure.
The void?
Stacks up her cards.
I'm still just sort of focused on the blood part.
Well, sure. What about it?
You just don't like the sound of it.
What about blood don't you like? The fact that it courses through our body and gives us life. The fact that it ties us to our friends and family.
Don't like hearing about it. Emma's getting paler.
It's okay. As long as I'm here, all of your blood is going to stay inside your body where it belongs.
That's where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should probably focus on the void part now.
Yeah, I don't like that part.
Understandable. It's sort of terrifying. But it can represent a number of different things. It can represent possibility and potential. It can represent perhaps a blank canvas to be filled.
Oh,
It can-
Roy was talking about painting earlier on canvases, so she probably knows really, about filling those.
Yeah. Canvases.
Dabbling in the arts now, are you, Roy? Happy to
Yeah.
hear that.
She's just...
The arts.
What were you painting? You never told us.
Oh, you know. I'm sure.
We don't.
I'm sure you'll find out soon enough.
What? That's weirdly cryptic, Roy.
Is it a surprise, Roy?
Yes, it's a surprise. It's a surprise and a secret and not a crime.
Why would you have to tell us? It's not okay. You know what? You're getting about as cryptic as the Moon is, so you should probably tone it back to just 1 degree.
Okay.
Did you have any sort of further questions about this, or do you now feel adequately equipped to solve this mystery?
I barely know anything about the mystery.
I barely know anything about anything.
I mean, that
Sounds
too.
about right.
Did you pick
Well-
up anything, Poppy?
No, I mean, I don't ever really pick up much from Nana Moon's readings besides that they sound cool. I'm sorry, Nana Moon. Like, I'm just not bad at analyzing on the fly, I guess. No. Why don't we just get out and go ask questions and see what we find?
I mean, that's what we do
So-
every other time. And it's worked out so far.
It has.
Maybe we can find a frog. Maybe you can show us what you were working on, Roy.
Well, we have to go to the other town, so we can't do that, actually. Let's go, guys. I'm going to grab both their hands and drag them out the door.
Okay.
Bye, Nana Moon!
Which way is the town?
You can now.
Okay, thanks.
As we're being pulled out, Emma's just like, so someone should probably tell Nana Moon that the whole cryptic thing is really scary and not reassuring at all.
Well, I didn't.
I think
don't
it's
know.
kind of fun.
I didn't think that this one was so scary. I mean, it was talking about like love and connection and like
She was
The
talking
void?
about blood in the void.
well, but I don't think blood's scary. I guess the void's kind of freaky, but like I guess Nana Moon's idea that about like a blank canvas makes sense because somebody's vandalizing and that just means they see a surface as a blank canvas that shouldn't be one. Maybe I don't know. Let's go do it. It's fine. It'll be fine. Nothing scary is gonna happen. I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah.
You want to make a bet?
First you're vandalizing things, and now you want to do betting.
I
Maybe make it
never
so
said I vandalized anything. I gave you that impression.
well that you won't tell us what you did, and it's apparently not on a canvas, and we're going to be surprised, but it's not a crime. I'm pretty sure vandalism's a crime, though,
It
Roy.
sort of sounds like a crime, Roy.
You're going to be grounded until you graduate from, I don't know, college.
And you know, like, we did a lot of chores for you last time, and I really can't handle any more sports with your sister, so, yeah.
Okay, but you're the only ones who know? So as long as you don't say anything, then I won't get into trouble.
Oh, we're not gonna tell on you.
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
a snitch.
Because if I get in trouble, I know.
That's
It's
not
you two.
That's not fair, though, Roy. What if somebody else saw you doing it? Or what if they, I don't know, did you sign it with your name?
No, and there's magic that a person can do to make things happen.
Are you good at that type of magic, Roy?
Oh, look, it's my broom. Let's go on a trip to fly.
Well, okay. Poppy starts getting on her broom. I promise
Thank
I
you.
won't tell, but you can't hold us accountable if you get caught by other.
I mean,
I'm not so sure about that, but okay.
I'm not a snitch, so I won't tell. But I'm not helping with chores this time.
No, that's fine.
All right, so you're flying. I also just kind of imagined that this conversation was happening while flying, but it could also happen beforehand.
I think we're like walking down the
It's like 50-50.
So yeah, you are flying towards. When Nana Moon gets jobs, she can kind of like magically convey a sense of direction of like when you were assigned a job, you have the basic wherewithal to get to it and begin it. So you fly in, and this city is called Angvan, and I will write that in the chat. Not that it's super important, but it is. Okay.
I'll literally forget it in 3 seconds, so thank you.
Yep. So when you fly up, it seems to be like this almost archaic looking metropolis of brick building and stone masonry built upon buildings upon buildings. It's like skyscrapers and sky bridges and buttresses and arches built so high and up on each other that you can't really see where it's not building. And the academy that you're flying to is in this tall tower where you can fly up to, and there's like a massive staircase that spirals around, and you see all sorts of different folk bustling around in tweed and with leather briefcases and that sort of thing, and
Patches on their elbows.
all sorts of patches. It's an aesthetic. It's a look. It's pretty much tweed with patches on the elbows. The city, and you have you see the entrance to the department that brings you to the professor's office, and the name upon the door is Professor Mahinder Yang, and Professor Mahinder is waiting for you just outside of their office. And let's say, I didn't think of a voice for this character. That's fine. Oh, welcome. Yes, please come in. You're the witches. Is that right?
That's
Yeah.
us.
Yes. Thank you so much. I've been plagued by this troublesome menace, and I was quite at my wit's end. Come in, please.
What kind of troublesome menace?
Well, that's what I'm hoping that you'll be able to solve for me.
Well, it takes one to know one.
Emma just elbows Roy. Don't admit that. What kind of vandalism is happening?
Well, it seems to be that all my so you come into the audit office, and it is set up, and there are like star maps and like planetary spinning things, so like planets and constellations and solar systems kind of set up. A lot of really neat different dioramas. A lot of them are in that like old school golden brass and like painted style. But it looks like some of them are patched, and there's like a large star map that seems to be torn and just kind of hastily reassembled, and there is a bookcase that has quite a few books stacked on the floor in front of it, because one or two of the shelves are broken. So all the books that were on the shelf are all stacked up. Well, you see, somebody seems to be coming into my office late at night while I'm away and just breaking things in a sort of, well, I can't seem to pinpoint what their intention is, but you see, they've repeatedly damaged all my dioramas and my maps and my globes.
Why would you?
And I'm not sure to what end. I don't believe anything is missing.
Why would you even? I don't understand why someone would want to destroy this stuff.
Neither would I. It's sort of my life's work.
Not that I'm speaking from experience, but sometimes it's fun to make a mess for the sake of making a mess. I mean, this is a lot. This is a very large mess, and not one that I would condone. But I'm just saying that sometimes there isn't a motivation behind breaking things.
Professor Young, do you know anyone who likes to make messes?
Well, sure. I work at an academy. I don't know anyone by name off the top of my head that I think would make this sort of mess. I don't think I've even been particularly hard on any of my students this quarter. But if you would like a list of names, a list of the department, it'd be rather lengthy, but I'm happy to supply it if you think it would help.
Could I look around with my investigate magic and see if there's some kind of pattern to the mess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I help if I have a skill in it? Because I have 1 whole point in that.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that. Would I just roll 1? Like,
I think
Emma's not
there's-
wanting to do it herself. She's wanting to assist Poppy. Like, but I don't know how this game works.
I got 2 matches.
Oh, well, then you don't
Nice.
need,
Oh, wait,
you don't,
hold on.
you don't need
Yeah.
my help. You're good. Emma will pretend she's assisting.
Okay. Emma comes over to try to help look. and
Emma's
Poppy
just like
finishes
crossed her
what to
arms and
do.
just nodding. Yeah, looks good to me. It's a typical 13-year-old.
All right. So this damage looks almost clumsy. It doesn't look like it's really effectively executed, even if the goal is just to like destroy things, because it certainly could be far more destroyed. And as though the professor has patched and repaired as much as they can each day, you can see that like it's not like it is not destroyed for the sake of destruction. And even though you don't notice an immediate pattern besides just kind of like maybe just repeated blunt pushing or application of light force against these things, you do start to notice this shimmering kind of air of magic that seems to be more present in this room than when you're outside in the hallways of the department.
So,
Professor Young.
Yes. Oh, and my apologies. I don't believe I've gotten your names.
Oh, sorry. I'm Roy, and what phase is the moon in?
I believe. Well, we have. And consult a chart. Ah, yes, it's a full moon this night.
I lean over to Emma, and I whisper, "Werewolf."
Wait, do you whisper it or do you stage whisper it and he completely hears it?
No, she whispers it.
Okay.
She's
I need to know for Katie's entertainment. Because Emma's 100% on board. Just nodding. And so she goes, I'm Emma, and what's your astrological sign?
My astrological sign? Well, I am a Virgo.
She leans over to Roy. Are werewolves Virgos?
I don't know enough about werewolves to know if they're Virgils or not.
No, Virgos.
Virgo.
Good enough. I'll explain it later.
Okay.
Well,
Professor Young.
Yes, Roy.
Have you received any mysterious bites recently?
I hate everything about this.
Sort of look down at their body. I can't say that I have. No.
We're just covering all our bases.
Certainly. I would hope so.
Well, I don't think it's a werewolf, Roy. It looks like whoever did this did it like purposefully, like not just to cause chaos, but like I don't really know what the pattern is, but there's things have been broken intentionally in a certain way.
Oh,
And
interesting.
there's like a weird magic-y shimmery in the air that wasn't outside outside in the hallway or anything. So
Magic, you say? In
think-
here?
yeah,
Well,
I think there's
that's
some
unusual.
magic. Maybe it's that dang wind spirit again.
Oh my Poppy, if we have to deal with that wind spirit again, I'm quitting witch school.
Amy taught me a word. Do you want to hear it?
Okay.
I told her about the wind spirit, and she called him a bastard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean,
Professor Young goes,
I've only heard adults use that word when they're really, really mad, so it fits.
Mm-hmm.
But also, why would a wind spirit want to mess with all of the professor's stuff?
I don't know. Why would it want to steal a yodeler's yodel or keep the prince from getting his crown? Or I guess it didn't really do anything to mess with your sisters as far as we know, but
I bet it.
Who's to say?
who's
I mean,
to say?
I bet that I bet it inspired the people to bully your sister, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Don't like that little dude.
He's a big meanie. I mean, he's a little meanie, but his meanness is large.
I'm sorry to interject, but do you think that there might be spirits and magic involved here?
Maybe.
Maybe. Can I roll mountain/forest/animals to see if he's a werewolf? Or something similar? Can I just try?
He is a werewolf, but it's unrelated, Roy.
That's the thing. Has nothing to do with what we're dealing with.
I have complete and total control over my lycanthropy.
Just
I just wanna
Roy just
know.
looks him in the eye. Are you a werewolf or aren't you a werewolf?
Dang it. Okay, one last try. One last try, buds. Dang it. No successes.
Okay.
Werewolf, neither confirmed nor denied.
Schrodinger's werewolf.
Everyone a werewolf until confirmed otherwise.
I mean, in
I mean,
Roy's
that's kind of a
mind,
werewolf.
yeah. Do you know who Roy is?
I would be rather concerned how that would come about. For you see, well, here in England, we have a, how to put it? We have a very calculated and careful relationship with magic. It's not something, and certainly not in my own opinions necessarily. For I invited you here, of course. But you see, in general, there are a lot of those who might not entirely trust the power that magic represents. And you may find that encountering those in Engvan, they're not entirely welcoming to magic. So I quite frankly surprised to know that there's magic here in this academy of all places. We haven't so much as studied magic within these walls for at least a century.
That's pretty lame.
Well, then why would you invite us?
Well, I like to keep an open mind, and many of the other faculties here have considered that it's likely just a prank from students, but I don't seem to think so. You see, it's a sort of locked door situation where there's only one way in or out.
Okay, well, I got one more question.
Oh,
Why
please.
don't you study magic anymore?
Well, I've never studied magic. I studied the stars and what's all up there. But
I mean, it's pretty bold of you to
suppose-
assume that the stars don't have any magic in them.
Yeah, stars are pretty magical.
oh, sure, but there are all sorts of other things. It's you could say geologists can study all the physical properties of rocks without necessarily looking at the divining properties of crystal, if such a thing exists. It's
If such a thing exists.
Elbowing.
There are those who have made decisions from the places in power to limit the variable that magic represents in our society. It's by no means outlawed, of course, but there is just a lot of reluctance around it.
I don't want to, offend you, Professor, but your city seems really boring.
We just find interest in different fields.
I just don't understand why you couldn't find interest in both. But, okay, well, if Poppy thinks that there was some magic here, then I'm prone to believe her. She's probably the smartest witch that I know, besides Nana Moon. So, we should probably follow that lead.
I think what we should do is team meeting.
It's always a good idea.
Can we circle up into a team meeting, everyone?
Yes.
Sorry, Professor. Witches only.
I'll step outside.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, my plan is that we stay here and wait for the thing to come, and then we catch it.
But what if it's already done what it wants to do? I mean, this place is pretty destroyed.
Well, it had been coming back to this office repeatedly, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
So it seems like something here is specifically pulling it. Yeah, we could wait and see if it comes back. Or we could try to make it come out. We could try doing that summoning thing we did before with the wind spirit specifically, but this time using the little magic laughter traces as the connection point. See if we can make it show up.
But what if
If
the
it's not
thing-
the wind spirit and the wind spirit shows up anyway, I'm going to be really annoyed.
What if it is a werewolf? Are we
I don't.
Are we
Prepared to
do what's necessary?
can we handle a werewolf? Is my question.
I don't think it's a werewolf, Roy.
Are you sure?
Well, there's not any fur around. You'd think the werewolf would shed some if it came and knocked everything over,
Not
right?
if
Maybe it's a short-haired werewolf.
Or if it
What-
takes really good care of itself.
Wouldn't
Mhm.
there be claw marks? Like, wouldn't it scratch stuff up? Why would it just push things over? That doesn't make any sense to me anyway, but maybe. I don't know. I think we could take a werewolf, though, if we had to.
I mean, werewolves aren't inherently violent. Maybe it just wants a friend.
Hmm.
Maybe it's really mad at the moon.
I'm just saying I don't have my knife anymore. It did get confiscated.
Can't you just magic a new knife?
I think that's against the motivation behind taking my knife away.
Okay.
If I just make a new one, then it's kind of rude.
Are you saying you were going to stab the werewolf?
I'm just saying stabbing is, at least for me, out of the question if it's a werewolf, which it is.
So you are 100%. It's a werewolf, Roy.
Well, wouldn't it be better to summon the werewolf during the day instead of at night when the moon's out?
Okay. Yeah, probably. But okay, what if it's just a regular person? How are we gonna? What if it doesn't turn until the moon comes out?
Well, then couldn't we just ask it if they're a werewolf? It's also okay.
Why would they lie to us? What's the point?
It's okay too if you just want to hide out in this office all night. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, I wanna hide under the desk and then I'll pop out like, bam, and then I'll like shoot a fireball. Well, I shouldn't do a fireball because there's paper in here.
Roy, can you do a fireball?
Shh.
I can't do a fireball.
I don't know if I could do a fireball today.
Roy, are you holding out on us?
Roy says nothing.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll stake out then. That'll be fine.
No, we should do your summoning first. And if that doesn't work, then we can stake out. And we should also stake out even if your summoning does work, because I think it'd be fun.
Okay. All right. Well, let's all okay. Is the guy still in the office? Storyteller?
No, they stepped outside.
Okay. So here, let's come over. I think the most kind of energy cluster is over here, and Poppy kind of like pulls you over, and has you like hold hands in a circle around it, and we'll initiate this summoning with the help of my friends.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to tell me how to do that, storyteller.
Right. Okay, so you gather around and your cats are kind of like getting ready to help with this magic. Gork goes into his usual like power stance, which is he loafs in your lap, Emma.
Power stance.
And then Southwell kind of like looks back up at you, Roy, and does the kind of like headbutt on your chin and sits nicely in front of you. But Grove seems odd. And as you kind of like get into the situation, you notice like she's almost like just a little bit, like she's got a little bit poofy tail.
Grove, are you okay? Your tail's all floofed.
Oh, I feel weird here.
Weird how? And Poppy kind of gets out and crouches down and pets her. Give her some ear scritches.
I'm not sure yet, but it's sort of this feeling that I've been feeling lately. I'm worried that maybe you've been feeling it too.
Well, I have been having some really weird dreams the last few nights.
Oh no, I'm sorry about that.
Well, I don't know if maybe they're just a coincidence. Well, I don't know. Do you think we should not try this then? Do you think that'd be...
No, this could be a good thing. I don't think it's the spell that makes me uncomfortable, just this place. Maybe it's because, like the professor said, they don't trust magic here. Maybe that's all.
Maybe. Well, let's just go real carefully with this spell then, I guess. We'll just kind of take it slow. And if things... Poppy looks up at you two. If things start getting too weird, then we should stop, okay? Okay.
Wait, like weirder than usual? Because things tend to get pretty weird when we do stuff like this.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess maybe this is important. Maybe I should tell you this about the weird dreams I've been having.
Uh-oh.
It's been kind of like, like I've been flying through space, sort of, like looking out over the cosmos, being born and dying and being reborn again, and just kind of feeling like at the same time infinitesimally small, but also like I have no physical body and I'm everywhere.
There's a lot going
Does
on in that
infinitesimal mean?
Like really, really little. Like the smallest speck.
That's the scariest thing I've heard ever, I think. Are you okay?
I think I'm okay. I mean, they're kind of scary dreams. I don't know. It's like scary, but also like cosmic. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, I don't want to be the one to point this out, but I'm gonna have to be. You're having dreams about the cosmos and stuff, and look where we are.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I don't know what it means, though. I assume it means something, right?
I mean, I would hope so, and you're not just dreaming about dying.
Dying?
It wasn't really about dying. It was just about, like, I don't know, the movement of matter and energy in the universe? I don't know.
That's still terrifying.
That's you know, I'm only 13. I don't want to think about that stuff right now.
I don't.
I mean, I think me and Roy got at least 2 or 3 more years before we should start thinking about that, like our place in the universe.
Okay, well,
Let's just do the summoning thing, maybe.
okay, yeah, let's just do the summoning thing.
Poppy, what have you
You
done?
put 2 13-year-olds in an existential crisis.
Okay, Poppy takes you guys' hands and tries to not feel like the weirdest person ever and leads this summoning.
Okay, let me look up how magic.
How magic.
All right. All right, so we're using your power level, your magic level right now, which you said was 1.
This one.
Oh, okay. The difficulty of the magic being attempted. So this is pretty tricky magic because the summoning spell itself is hard. It's even harder because you don't know what you're summoning or where you're summoning it from.
Yep.
Is there some sort of limitation you want to put on the spell to make it a little bit easier? So, for example, oh, go ahead.
Well, I think it'd be fine if we didn't like actually summon the thing physically, but maybe summon like an image of it just to see what it is. If that's
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, is your magic trying to like summon an image of it now, what it's doing, or like do you just kind of want to replay what's happened in the office?
Yeah.
Nights?
I think just replay, like even not even like necessarily replay, but like a still image of like it when it was in this spot, I guess.
Okay.
Just to see what it is.
All right. So yeah. That will be easier then because you're looking at something that already happened and you're just looking at the image. You're not physically pulling another creature that you don't know what it is. Oh, how does difficulty scale work again? Okay. I'm gonna say this is a difficulty 3 thing. However, the belief in magic here is very strong. It is 10. So that is a total of 14. So you roll 2 dice and you multiply them together. And if it is equal to or less than,
I got 9. 3
9.
times 3.
Nice. Okay. So the do you want to describe your magic?
So I think Poppy kind of closes her eyes and starts like whispering, chanting an incantation. And as she does so, the space within the hand circle starts to do like a glow, and like there's a rush of air, and then the leftover magic presence kind of coalesces into whatever that shape is.
Okay. So the shape, the magic is shimmering and translucent. You can see through it, and it's almost like light begins to take shape, like filtering dust, and it forms something that is large. You guys are gonna think it's a werewolf. It is.
It could be 2 foot tall, and Roy's gonna go, "It's a werewolf!"
It's a werewolf puppy. And it is 4-legged, and it has this kind of longer neck and a larger head. It's almost equine. It's almost deer-like. But it's like really hard to. It's a very vague shape, and it remains translucent and just like shimmery and nondescript. And for a moment, you think that like maybe the spell didn't work as well as you hoped it to, because like it should give a clear image. But then you realize like this is what it looked like.
Shimmery and made out of starlight. Weird. I don't know what this thing is. Doesn't look like a werewolf though.
At that, Grove hisses.
Oh, what's going on?
And like ears flat back, and your magic shimmers, and the still image that you have conjured turns its head. And then kind of shimmers and concentration breaks and the spell ends.
What was that?
I don't know.
It wasn't a werewolf.
Oh, it's much worse than a werewolf.
Grove, are you okay?
I don't know. I didn't like that.
She's looking down at Gork. Gork, do you know what it is? It's because Gork and Southwell didn't react that way, right? It was just Grove.
No. Like they were cautious and they were protective,
Yeah.
but they did not act like Grove did.
Yeah.
So Gork was like, oh, looked like
God damn
like
it.
a deer. I mean, I probably could have caught it if I needed to.
Oh yeah, you
Like,
totally had to jump
like
on it. Totally.
If I needed to hunt, I mean,
Yep.
I could have done it.
Yeah.
I didn't need to. I thought we were all pretty safe, so I didn't go for the pounds. But
Yeah.
I definitely could have.
Yep. You totally had it under control.
And Southwell kind of scoffs. It's like, I don't think for a moment it was material. It seemed far too just ephemeral, fleeting, but it must have caused the damage. Strange. Well, one thing's for sure, it is a creature of magic, I would guess.
Well, duh.
But like, almost like a creature, how to put it? The salamander that walks in fire is a creature that is magical, but it's not a creature of magic. It almost seemed like it was magic first and form second.
I didn't know things like that existed. That's weird.
So we should tell the professor, and then we should set a magic trap.
I like that idea actually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Emma's gonna open the door. Was the professor still waiting outside for us to do this? Sorry. She's going to open the door and stick her head out there. Oh, I think we found it.
Oh my, that was very quick.
Oh, I mean, okay, take it with a grain of salt. We didn't actually find it. We have a lead.
Ah. Very well. What did you find?
It looked like a star deer.
A star deer.
Like a deer made of stars.
Like starlight.
Yeah, like star. What was Thor used? Ephemeral.
Ephemeral.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
one.
that one.
That's a hard word.
Yeah.
An ephemeral deer made of stars.
Does that sound
That
like
doesn't-
anything you know?
Not in the slightest.
Well, that's
Now, Well, what are the next steps? Are you able to find it again?
Well, I think we need to stake out your office and set a trap for it tonight.
Very well. I think that is a wonderful idea. Would you like me here or not?
Maybe.
Have you been here on the previous times it was here?
Well, no.
Okay, then you shouldn't be here.
Understood.
Okay.
I can leave. I've had to file some reports and this sort of thing regarding the situation, so I can leave some of this paperwork with you in case there's some detail that I've left out that might be pertinent.
Okay.
In the meantime, help yourself to my mini fridge. It's an old-timey icebox.
It's an old-timey icebox.
I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna take one of those little Jack Daniels. No, just kidding.
I don't want
Hey.
to, though.
Underage drinking is bad.
Don't do it, kids.
Don't do it, kids.
But do text and drive.
No, don't do that either. That's also bad.
Taylor can't say shit.
Well, leave that in the channel.
Nope, it's gonna follow you. Emma wants to pull out her, like from her bag or whatever, her specially made tarot cards. And I guess I want to like maybe roll fortune telling to see if maybe she can get a sense on what kind of trap would be best. Yeah, so I roll it the amount of times to get a match. Yeah, I know how to play this game. That's not a match. Not a match. Not a match. I got one more roll, guys. Nope, didn't match a single time.
You can ask for help from Gork, and he can provide up to 3 dice.
Oh yeah, 3 more rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll like, Gork, come here.
Yeah.
I want you to,
Do you need me to do the poses again so you can
yeah.
interpret them? And if... Okay. So he goes over, he toddles to the first card.
Toddles!
And he does like a sit, and he puts his back kicker out in a dumb angle. And he does like the shift thing where he's sitting like because that is the exact image that it is on the card.
He was a great
remember
model.
this.
He was a great model. So yeah, I'm gonna roll 3 more times. That's not a match. That's a match finally.
Woo!
He toddles over.
I only got 1.
Okay, he moves over to the next card, and he tries to sit like he is reading a book or reading a newspaper, and accidentally falls backwards and just kind of like flops for a moment and then rolls over on his side. But in that sort of moment, you kind of get your inspiration, and you're like, "Oh, life is organic. It's not just still image." I understand that.
She's just like, oh, he's so cute when he tries.
But it is sweet that he it is one of those moments like, oh, he is actually trying to help me.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you think about the images you get are those of matches. So not like matching pairs, not lighting fires. And how like will attract like. So if this is like ephemeral, a bear trap isn't going to work. If this is like darkness, then brazenness might not work. If this is gentle, violence might not work. And so you kind of are left with the image and the a certain level of confidence and an otherwise what might seem common sense sort of thing of the trap needs to match the prey.
Yeah, she tells that to Poppy and Roy. I think both of you can tell she doesn't really understand what she means by it. I don't know, it should match, but I'm not really sure if like, what matches starlight? Do we trap a constellation with a constellation?
If it's a creature that's magic first, then we probably need to set some kind of magical trap for it. Not like a physical made trap, but like a spell trap, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
I like the constellation idea. And Roy's going to look for a deer constellation in all the... like she's going to start digging through and looking for like the deer.
So there is a profound amount of there is a whole lot of information about constellations and stars here, but with Southwell kind of helping you paw through books, you find one pretty quickly and flip through just kind of like illustrated guide to constellations. And you find Orion and the constellation of Orion as the hunter and the deer as the prey. And so, yeah, you see, I think it's called the Rigveda? Mariga? Yeah, I don't know. It's called something.
So... this might not be a great idea, but it is the one that I have where we use magic, like you put like magic strings or like magic walls in the shape of the constellation.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something.
To like snare it.
Yeah.
Sort of like, yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I have good ideas.
Well, yeah. I think we should she's gonna like try to find any kind of string or something in this room and try to start weaving it to look like this constellation. And once we get it done, then we should cast some kind of snare trap or something on it, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe just like a sleepy spell.
Just to go to sleep spell.
Can you put stars to sleep?
I mean, isn't that what happens when the sun comes up?
No, they're still there, Roy. They don't sleep or anything. The sun's a star itself, and it's not asleep.
I bet you could put the spirit of starlight to sleep, though.
It's a deer.
Yeah.
Deer.
And made it out of magic.
Sleep. My head hurts.
Southwell comes and kind of like gives you another headbutt nudge, and just said, "It's okay. We have, I think, quite a bit of time. Let's take it step by step. You've been doing very good, Roy."
Thank you. I'm gonna go lie down. She face plants on the floor.
Yeah, there's also a couch.
She face plants on the floor.
She knew what she was aiming for.
That's the kind of girl she is.
Okay.
Emma's going to work to make sure it looks like a deer constellation.
So
Okay.
Poppy will help out with that. And I think too, since I have so many in the magic writing skill, Poppy's gonna also grab a piece of chalk and kind of like, once the outlines are set, just like write in magic language, like binding and sleeping and ensnaring and just kind of all of the magic SEO words that would be applicable for this spell magic we're gonna put on top of it.
Yeah, tagged with all the right keywords.
Yeah.
Sorry, what does SEO mean?
Oh, in real life, Rachel? Question?
Yeah, this is a real life Rachel question. I don't know what that means.
It's search engine optimization. It's like when
Okay.
you have a website, you want to embed a lot of like catchy keywords into your page so that the Google spiders know where you are.
Okay.
Come to Twitch TV/KatieFace to learn not only about witchery but Google spiders.
And
Search
marketing.
engine optimization.
Optimize your website.
Yep.
Be a bigger presence on the web.
Mhm.
All right, speaking of webs, you are making a constellation out of string, chalk, and magic while Roy sleeps.
Oh, she's not sleeping. She's just face planted.
Okay. Southwell did drag one of the throw pillows from the couch and is like attempting to nudge it underneath your head.
Aw.
And she's shaking her head.
Southwell instead just forms a loaf on your back.
Okay. That's very nice of her, and I appreciate it.
All right. Gork is absolutely batting at every piece of string that you are moving around. He is shuffling like no one's business to get that string. All about string. He moves slow until string is involved. And he scamper. And yeah, Grove. Oh, what's up?
I was gonna ask if Grok does the two-handed fatty shuffle.
Yeah. Gork is just a slightly more curmudgeon-y Mr. Pan. And then Grove is still seeming perturbed. She doesn't jump back up on your shoulders, and like she's not unhelpful or rude, but like she seems like she has not yet calmed down.
Yeah. Once I'm done with the magical hashtags, I'll put the chalk back and go try to give her some comfort pets.
Okay. She is receptive, but says something along the lines of, I wish I knew why I was this way. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know. I was feeling just real upset and in a bad way like a few weeks ago for no reason. Maybe cats just get like that too sometimes. Maybe it's not like any one thing's fault. I don't know. I don't think you have to be sorry about it.
And she kind of rubs her head into your hand.
I think I got
right.
some of those catnip treats in my bag. Let me look. Pull out a biscuit for my good kitty.
Oh, good. She likes that. All right. So since you have like at least a few hours to set this up, I'm not going to make you roll for it because you're all accomplished and you have plenty of time to try again. So you take this time to prepare, and you look over some of the professor's notes, and the professor has left you to your devices and like says, here's a contact information for the front desk in case you need anything, and like contact information for themselves so you can reach out to them if you need. And you read some of their notes, and all you really get is that Professor Mahinder was working on just mapping certain constellations with a certain level of clarity that hadn't really been done before. And they were just really excited that they were bridging a gap in knowledge that had not yet been formed, and they were really excited. And that's what they were working on the first night that it happened, and it's been going on for about 3 nights so far. This will be the 4th. And after you work and you nap and you eat the snacks out of Professor Mahinder's icebox, and drink their little bottled colas.
Not their Jack Daniels.
No Jack Daniels. But
Gork
the sodas
actually does get into the Jack Daniels. Let's all be real with each other here.
they are pretty caffeinated, the little sodas. So that's nice. And when you're all just sort of sitting quietly, it's been hours, the trap has long since been set up, you're all just kind of doing your own thing, flipping through picture books or just hanging out. The room gets almost imperceptibly colder. Just a little bit. It gets a little bit darker, and the orange light of the sunset is fading through the window. And as it gets darker, slowly shimmering into existence is this shape in the middle of the room. And it is far more impressive, far more unbelievable in reality. You can see through it, but you can see it. You can see shape and light curving to make this form. And it is both majestic and beautiful, but also just your brain cannot wrap itself around what it is you're seeing. And as it becomes nighttime, it has formed, still translucent, and it looks at you. And we'll take a break.
Okay. Well, yeah, folks, we'll be back in about 5 minutes to see what the heck we just caught. So we'll be right back. we're back. What did we catch, Taylor? Tell us.
Okay. You appear to have captured a spectral deer. Mhm. Yeah, so this shimmering deer form like appears in the room, not on the trap, but near it, and like looks around and like looks at you all like slowly in turn, but also kind of like past you, and it makes a few slow, deliberate steps. It nudges with its nose a globe, and you see that what it touches moves in response, but almost with a delay, or it moves only partially as the deer also partially phases into and through whatever objects it's interacting with. And then it looks at Grove and seems for the first time to like respond in a different way. You almost see this shimmer quickly ripple down, and then it like backs up a little bit and turns, and it sees the constellation that you've made. And in a moment, the way it's standing, it almost perfectly aligns with the shape that you have created for the constellation. And it walks towards it, and as it does, its magic starts to spread out and fill the strings and glow in the chalk words, and the space within the constellations, the bounds that you have made, glimmers and ripples and becomes almost like a window. And the deer walks into and through it, but as it does, all that sort of magical essence and trace that was in the room begins to vacuum with it. You feel this pull, and as the deer steps through the portal, it brings you all through it as well.
No.
Without moving, without feeling like you feel this tug, you feel this emotional like pull, but it's almost like when you're underwater and you can feel the buoyancy in your lungs. And in a moment of shimmering light in the darkness, you see this constellation. It's still in the same location in your field of vision as it was before, but now through it you see the office where you were, and you are all suspended in space. And in front of you, you see now this very tangible, but still cool looking, like almost looks like the Nightwalker from Mononoke. Like deer shape. And so I'll give you a moment to react, I suppose.
I think I just stare at it.
Okay.
That's basically what Emma's doing, just wide, gaped mouth, wide eyes, and like looking at Poppy and Roy, like, are you seeing this too? She's just...
Roy's trying... Is Southwell... Did our cats get pulled in with us, or is it just us?
So, as you look around for your cats, Gork is desperately clinging on to your like jacket or robes or whatever, Katie. He's just kind of like hanging on. Southwell is perched on on Roy's shoulders, holding on, but not as frantic. And Poppy, you see Grove next to you, and she is floating next to you. But something strange is happening with her too. It's almost like you see it first in her eyes. You see the stars and the space all around you reflected in her eyes with such incredible clarity that you get lost in them for a moment. And Grove becomes this almost seamlessly, almost like that's the way that she always was, a large, spectral looking void creature like the deer is.
What?
And she is kind of like shifting between like cat-like, but almost like entirely amorphous. Like you are perceiving her in a way that you do not think would be possible outside of whatever magical realm you are now in. And at this moment, the deer speaks. You hear its voice inside of your head. You just know by its eye contact that the voice comes from it. And it says, "Thank you for bringing me home."
What?
Thank you for bringing me.
I understood the words, but I don't know what you mean. What do you mean home?
I was trapped where I was not supposed to be. And then you made a door for me. And you brought me home.
Oh.
Where I belong.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we could help then, I guess.
It is my fate to be hunted. So I was running. And I saw a place that I thought I could be safe. But then I could not get back.
Is that why you've been destroying everything here? So you were trying to get away? Or get
I was
here?
trying.
Or I'm a little confused.
I was trying to get back home through what I thought were doors, but they were not. They were not real. Not like your door was.
You're a magic critter, so you needed a magic door, not a science door.
And this city isn't exactly, the whole magic thing anymore. It just still doesn't really do it. Who was hunting you?
The hunter, Orion. It is his fate to chase me across the stars, and mine to flee. It is so.
Don't you ever get tired? Of running?
It is my fate to do so. I am the hunted.
Well, that's weird. Do you know why my cat is doing this thing?
More importantly, why is my cat freaking out?
Did you break my cat?
Did you break my cat? Why?
So you look at the way that the deer regards Grove is like I don't know what you're talking about. It's how is this different? Grove at this point kind of speaks to you as, what if this is my fate, to be a monster? I think this is my shape. This is what I am on the inside. And I think I try so hard to be well behaved, to be what you need me to be, but this is what I am. I am darkness like this. What if I am a nightmare?
Well, if you're a nightmare, then well, that's fine because you're my friend. And I don't think you're a monster. I like you how you are. You're my partner, so if you're a monster, then well, I don't know, maybe we'll just have to be monsters together.
So this limb that contains the entirety of the cosmos moves towards you, but when it connects with your forehead, it feels like the tiny beans of a cat.
Poppy grabs on and gives it a rub.
And Grove, though still this strange form, says, I don't know if I'm comfortable with myself yet. I know that I have all of this inside of me, but what, I don't understand. I don't know what I can do about it. I don't know how to be your partner and still be this. Is that okay?
I mean, I think it's fine. I don't know. I get what you're saying about trying to be good all the time. And like I don't know if I'm really all that good either, even though I try really hard to be. But I don't know. I don't think we have to have the answers either. It's not like there's a test on this stuff and we're going to get graded and not graduate from life. We'll figure it out.
At this point, Gork kind of grunts. I try not to be good at anything. um, but yeah. So Grove says, I don't know how to be this thing that I am, but I think I know how to be your partner. And I would like to keep doing that.
Well, I don't want to have to find a new cat either. Not just because it'd be annoying, but because I like having you as my friend.
Even if this is the shape of your friend's soul.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just that simple. Yeah, you're my friend, and you're my friend before. I don't know. I feel like not like we can see the shape of each other's souls, but like I don't know. I feel like I've always known what it was. I guess. Like if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have picked. You wouldn't have been my bud, right?
Right. Right. And the dark amorphous shape just swells and envelops your body. And
I am the
night. At this point, the deer says, oh, okay. So I'm gonna do the imagery a little bit better. So the dark amorphous form that is Grove like swells and engulfs your body and swirls around, and just kind of stays this intangible shape swirling around you. It's still uncertain, but it's close. And at this point, the deer says, "It is my fate to be hunted, but I still have the legs beneath me to run. Thank you for bringing me home."
You're welcome.
And it gallops off, and as it does so, you kind of feel that push again, and again, without much movement, you find yourselves oriented in the same way. Actually, no, I'm going to make you guys leave the portal. So yeah, the deer gallops off, and you are floating in this void of infinite cosmos. And it seems like each constellation that you look at, each star, is entwined with a story. Is something that it represents, some feeling, some character, some destiny that is, just innumerable in these stars. And just to your right is this little deer constellation shaped door that brings you back to the office on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Emma's going through it.
Yeah, I figured
Okay.
we all go through.
I think pretty much this whole time, Roy's just been like around Southwell.
Yeah. So on the other side, so essentially when you point yourselves towards the door, the portal, and you set your intentions to be on the other side of it, you are in the room again with the portal, with the string trap set up in the same configuration, in the same field of view as it was before. So it's almost like you didn't move. Everything shifts around you. But at this point, it is no longer buzzing with that magic. The glow is slowly dying away, leaving the room dark, lit only by a couple of flame lanterns that were going, because it is nighttime. And the magic of the spell has gone. And all of those trace residual magic from where the deer had been bumblingly butting its head against pictures of stars trying to get back home. That magic is much, much fainter. And yeah, you are left with just strings and chalk in a professor's office. And Grove is normal shaped, sitting on your lap and purring.
Good kitty.
When they're back, Emma just looks at Roy, and Southwell looks down at Gork, and then looks at Poppy and Grove. Is your cat a deer?
No, my cat's a cat. She's just got a really big cosmic ball of darkness inside her.
Oh, I mean, who?
A cat.
That's normal. Who doesn't, Grove?
I didn't know what to do with it. And I think it's okay not to do anything just yet.
I mean, Gork doesn't have darkness inside of him.
I think he does have a big black void, though.
Yeah,
right?
I was getting. Yeah. It's something. There's something inside of him.
Almost
A lot of fish.
Almost on cue, he does one of those little like like he just ate too much and he was doing a burp.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't do a throw up, just one of those gurgle burps. Because he had also gotten into snacks. Yeah, you solved the mystery.
It solved the mystery.
Yeah, I think it's some by the next morning. Emma just goes and tells the professor, "Don't worry, it was just one of our cats." They,
No.
they get out sometimes. They're really, really unexpected when they show up.
I don't know.
Oh.
Poppy's gonna go tell him the truth.
I will say that
Emma
when
thinks
you,
that is the truth.
Okay.
I will
Doctor-
say, oh sorry,
Dr. Professor Young,
yes.
I know that your books are important and studying things is good, or so I've heard, but maybe going into too much depth when it comes to the stars, you might be meddling with forces beyond your control and are very powerful, and some things might be a little better left alone.
That wasn't cryptic at all from a 13-year-old.
I think maybe also you guys should really consider like bringing magical presences back into the city, because I think you went too far to the science end, and the world still has magical critters in it, and so when they come into the no magic allowed space, it makes them hard to find their way out.
She said it better than I did.
I will take what you both said to heart, absolutely. But you see, we have
I know you got a
have
long and
people who've been-
complicated history, but
there will be a lot of fear to overcome, but I think we might be able to do it yet.
And I'm sorry about your star maps and your
Oh.
star globes.
That's all right. I can make them again. I've only ever wanted to learn, you see, but perhaps I was overlooking certain evidence that really ought to have been paid attention to. Thank you again. Thank you very much. So, I believe payment has already been arranged with your Nana Moon.
all right. Well, I think we have everything taken care of here. We could probably head out.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't steal any books from my
Right.
cool sister.
Why did you say that, Roy? It makes me think that you did steal books.
Saying that you did do something definitely makes us think you did it, Roy.
Did you actually steal books though for real?
Do I have to roll to steal a book?
No, I'm just curious. You left unattended with books for a very long time.
Yeah, I think one or two of them.
Okay.
God.
Just some of the more interesting ones, according to Southwell.
Okay.
Southwell and Roy are partners in crime.
That is hilarious. Southwell's just glad that you're reading.
No, I'm not reading them. I'm stealing them for my sister, my twin,
Okay.
who likes books.
Yeah. Southwell had hopes that you would read them. Southwell's like, go ahead and look through them so that you can tell Dartmouth what they're about. Yeah, so I think that's really funny that you did that, and I'm going to include one last little vignette as you get back to Nana Moon. And she presents you with like standard witch pay, and also she says, and payment's been arranged from the good professor. He's left these for both of you, and oh, that's strange. Roy, I don't seem to have yours here. And so two of the parcels are books.
Okay.
for Emma and Poppy, and for Roy and Anamoon is like, oh, I hope you found something equally as fulfilling.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, so they are books of like stars and constellations and stuff like that, and inadvertently they do tie into like neat magical lore and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Doodaloo, added to inventory.
Yeah.
All right. The
Never
Dude.
touch.
Wait,
never touch it
wait.
again.
Before we end, what did Roy vandalize?
Oh yeah, I need to know.
Oh, well, I didn't really think about it that much.
Oh no!
I mean, you said it was blue and green paint on you.
I
I
feel like,
immediately assumed it was a frog in the pond.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, I said it was like vandalism. I think it was probably on like a public mural that was already there. And she thought, I'm going to fix this because there aren't enough frogs. So I'm going to add just a couple of frogs to fill out the composition.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah, that was so good. Yeah, so that was our session 4 of Witch Quest. We have one more left next week, and
Ellie.
oh my god, no more witchy. Anyway, go around, say who we are, any plugs, that stuff. Taylor, what about you?
I am Taylor. I'm on Twitter at Taylor_CS. I make games as Whimsy Machine, which you can find whimsymachine.media or whimsymachine.itch.io and other places on the internet. I'm not really doing any other shows right now, so catch me back here later doing the last episode of Witches.
Mariah.
I'm also not doing any other shows, but I do a lot of art and a good webcomic called Rainy Day Dreams. You should go follow me on Twitter at Rainy Day Mariah, and you can find all my good links and see art and stuff. And sometimes I post polls because I like polls.
We love democracy. Rachel, what about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. You can find me on Twitter at r_Omulus. You can find me here. Is it next Thursday or Thursday after?
Next Thursday for the finale. We'll stay on.
Next
we'll
Thursday.
be on schedule.
Next Thursday for the finale. Sick. And then this Saturday, barring circumstances, I will be on Jim's channel at OtherDoc playing Cold Ruins of Last Life. And that will be at 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, big if, this upcoming Tuesday, we are not doing masks, but the following Tuesday we'll be back on this channel playing masks at 6 p.m. Central, something. 6 p.m. It's
7 Central. Now
7 Central,
got
6
it
p.m. 6 p.m. my time.
Yes.
Which is the only time that matters to me because it's the one I live in. And then coming, first week of June 6th, I believe, is our premiere date over on Off the Table, playing Sanguahona the Claiming, and you're going to meet my awesome hunter. It's going to be great.
She has one arm. I love her.
She has one arm and 2 guns.
And maybe one a little more than average horse. And a wagon? I can't remember what we decided. It was a long conversation. I'm Katie. I'm on the internet at Katie Face. You know where to find me. Mondays we have Inspectors in the afternoon, followed by Monster of the Week. Like Rachel said, on Tuesdays we have masks. Won't be here this upcoming Tuesday. Might do something else. Haven't decided fully yet. But no masks for sure. Wednesday you can find me on OtherDoc's channel playing Tremulous. Next Thursday we'll be back here. I cannot remember the rest of my schedule. Tomorrow I'll be on Tales from the Grim playing Summer in Woodlake. I'm very excited about that. And then coming next month, we'll be running spooky games here on the channel. Taylor's going to run a couple, I believe. It's going to be really fun, a fun, good time. Just being scared, because who doesn't love to be scared? Anyway, yeah, I hope everyone has a great evening, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Night.